A vengeful spirit in black is trying to kill a young mother of 2 children. Don't miss out. What is the ghost avenging, and why will the living woman seek forgiveness from her? This is Psychic Investigations, a project of true and shocking stories. Here, people who call themselves clairvoyants investigate tangled criminal cases and incredible paranormal phenomena. Natalia Nadilska from Ukraine sent our editorial team a video she filmed in her apartment. It allegedly shows a poltergeist that the woman claims has been haunting her.
I've never encountered anything like this before, and I'm terrified.
Natalia says she got a good look at the entity, and she's certain it's a woman's spirit that has taken up residence in her home.
Black eyes. Very long hair. And she wears a black robe. She's incredibly scary.
Initially, Natalia only saw the spirit. It first occurred almost 2 years ago when Natalia was alone in her apartment.
She stood right here, looking at me like this. I was so shocked that I froze, staring at her. She didn't disappear or move. She just kept staring at me. I quickly ran in to block the door with a stool and all the chairs. Then I was just sitting there, trembling.
Since then, the mysterious ghost has been appearing daily in Natalia's home, terrifying her.
I was standing here cooking when I heard someone breathing behind me. I turned around and saw a black shadow in the hallway.
According to Natalia, the unknown spirit appears in her home both day and night.
There were no drafts. Everything was closed. The door opened all the way here to the wall, and then closed. It felt like someone entered the room. I went to check, thinking maybe the kids did it, but they were asleep.
Natalia is 27 years old. She is and an excellent mother to her 2 sons, a first grader Vlad and younger Andrei, who recently turned 5.
She's a great mother. She's extremely attentive to her children.
After an unsuccessful marriage, Natalia raised her sons on her own for some time. But recently, she met a man she fell in love with. Her fiancé is currently working abroad, and her fear for her children only grows, especially since both sons have also started seeing the unknown ghost.
My younger one ran to me screaming, "A scary woman! She's all dark!" He didn't speak for 3 days after that.
Natalia is currently taking Andrei to see a child psychotherapist, as the boy feels constant fear.
He's been asking me for almost a year now, "Mom, won't you die? I'm scared."
And then, the terrifying stranger in black started appearing to Natalia's elder son, both in his dreams and in reality.
In his dream, I was tied up with my hands behind my back, my mouth taped with duct tape, and I was in a closet.
I woke up and saw Mom sitting there, and then a woman came. She had very long hair, and Mom was crying. She was scary.
And the woman said, "Watch me kill her."
I woke up and went to the kitchen to drink some water. Then I went to the balcony, and there she was. The same woman. I don't know how she got there so fast.
Soon, other members of Natalia's family also witnessed the spirit's appearances.
The doors would open when there was no draft in the apartment, no one else around. It gets creepy.
I was holding little Vlad when the door slammed shut. I couldn't believe it, and then a woman just walked past me, like she was going to the balcony. She was all black, and her hair was black.
3 months ago, after Natalia found out she was pregnant, the ghost in black began a full-on attack.
She chokes me in my dreams. I can't even talk about it.
Things took a turn for the worse. As Natalia was leaving her apartment to pick up her sons from her mother's, she suddenly felt someone push her in the back. Pregnant, she rolled down more than 10 stairs.
I just fell down from there. I don't know how it happened. I went to the emergency ward as I couldn't stand on my leg, and they put a cast on it. I barely got back home.
Exhausted and scared, Natalia decided to lie down and rest. But as soon as she decided to close her eyes, she saw a massive wardrobe falling on her.
The wardrobe was here. I spread the bed and lay down, and it fell on the bed.
Natalia hardly jumped away at the last moment, but when she looked up, she saw the ghost of the black-haired stranger levitating above her old wardrobe.
I couldn't utter a word. She was so terrifying. She's haunting me. I don't know who she is. I don't know why she came to me.
The young mother lives a modest life, earning money by making embroidered icons and sewing costumes for the local theater. She says she lives an honest life, hasn't dabbled in magic, and all her attempts to get rid of the entity on her own have been futile. In tears, she begs the psychics to save her and her family from the deadly attack of the mysterious woman in black.
I really want them to come and help me.
Natalia's request was answered, and the psychics Kayal Alekperov and Olena Kurilova agreed to help.
Olena, I've been working with Natalia's photo, and my djinns told me something strange. They said when I see similar stars, it will mean we're on the wrong track. I can't make sense of it.
Last night I had a strange dream. You and I were in it. There were some high-rise buildings around and a tree was cut down. And there was a knife between us, covered in blood. Wait. Here it is. Here it is.
Is that the cut-down tree you mentioned?
Suddenly I noticed a gravestone nearby with bright pink flowers on it.
There's no name, surname, or date on the stone. Who was it put for, and what happened at this location?
I see a little girl's body. She's lying on the ground. She's about 8 years old. There's a woman next to her. Her mom. They were murdered.
Does this have anything to do with Natalia, who reached out to the psychics?
To sort it out, we needed to learn at least some information about the crime. Olena, there are locals standing over there. Let's ask them.
Do you live here? Hello. Do you happen to know if there's ever been a murder here?
Yes.
Did it involve a little girl?
Yes, a little girl and her mom, Irina. She lived in the first section of the building, and she and her daughter were coming back after a birthday party.
It turned out that the tragedy occurred in August 2009. In broad daylight, in this quiet neighborhood, a mother and daughter were stabbed. The girl died on the spot, and her mother passed away a few hours later in the hospital. The locals are still shocked by that.
It was so painful and shocking for everyone.
The man who did this appears to be insane.
He's mentally unstable and had been in a psychiatric hospital, but they managed to get him out, under his parents' supervision.
At some point, the young man sneaked out of home, and the local woman and her daughter were unlucky to pass by when it happened.
They were walking dressed in white, and he, with his head out of order, must have taken them for doctors.
But what does Natalia have to do with this?
Olena, my book is telling me some strange things. The child left on the doorstep is alive. And also, Natalia's child has 2 mothers.
Is it possible that one of her children is adopted?
I don't know what to make out of it yet.
We were in for a truly shocking discovery.
Thank you so much for coming.
Look, you are pregnant? Zan, before we start working, I'd like to give you this amulet. It will be your protection charm.
Natalia, I have a rather strange question. Are both your sons your biological children?
Yes, they are.
Do you mean you never adopted children?
No. If my life turns out well, I'd like to adopt a child. I want to have a daughter.
Natalia, this morning, my djinns told me about a child at a doorstep. You know, back in the day, people would leave their newborns at the doorsteps of wealthy families' homes. Did something like that ever happen to you?
A child at a doorstep? I don't know.
Did your parents live in this apartment before?
Yes.
Did you spend your childhood here?
Yes.
We need to scan your apartment. I hope you don't mind.
Please do.
Natalia enters, but Kayal Alekperov suddenly stops his colleague.
I just had a vision. A crashed car on the road. 3 bodies lie on the road. A dark-haired woman and 2 little boys. And a voice. Someone shouted, "Natalia,
Natalia has 2 children, 2 boys. Could this be her future?
I don't know.
The concerned psychics make their way to Natalia's apartment.
The box where I keep my ritual items suddenly opened on its own. It's a sign. This is where you first saw the woman in black.
She stood here.
I see her entering your apartment. Let's go inside.
The psychics ask for silence and slowly walk through the entire apartment.
I thought maybe it had something to do with the apartment. Perhaps a child died here. No, there's no dead child here.
Then, why does the ghost in black has been haunting this place?
Who is this woman? Am I related to her? Do I even know her?
Let me try to summon her spirit to understand who she is. She's come. She's here.
What does she want?
She seems to be reaching out to you. I asked the spirit why she was haunting Natalia. And she said Natalia had to give her someone, or she would kill her.
Oh God!
This is terrifying. The mirror tilted by itself in the hallway.
This is impossible. This mirror is very heavy. It stood like this, and it just tilted itself.
Let's get out of here, quick.
What kind of spirit is this? The woman was murdered. She wasn't alone. Here's the card of a child.
But then I turned to the people gathered in front of the building and suddenly saw a woman's spirit next to them. She looked incredibly like the woman who was hunting Natalia. The spirit said, "Where are my children?" There's the spirit of a black-haired woman standing behind you.
Dark hair. Black eyes.
That's my daughter.
Was your daughter murdered?
She died in a car crash.
You also suffered. I see you driving a car. Next to you was this dark-haired woman, and in the back seat were 2 angels.
My wife and children. Only I survived. Why did God punish me like this?
This man's name is Volodymyr. His wife and 2 young sons were killed in a horrific car crash. The family was going to the village where the children's grandfather lived when a Jeep suddenly appeared in the oncoming lane. It was impossible to avoid a head-on collision.
I wasn't seriously injured. I only had a scratched nose, but my wife and children died.
I see the man who caused the crash. He's wealthy and successful.
Yes, an influential person, a politician.
It turns out that Volodymyr and his wife's mother were going about their business and happened to see the renowned psychics. Volodymyr says he can't sleep at night because he lost his entire family and his life's purpose due to the man who neglected all safety regulations and drove drunk.
The doctors took a blood test after the accident. His blood alcohol level was through the roof.
We're here to help this woman. Do you know her?
I've never seen you before.
This is Natalia. She's being haunted by the spirit of a dark-haired woman who looks very much like your wife. What was her name, by the way?
Natalia.
Even their names are the same. Hold on, wait. This is the car accident I saw in my vision earlier today before entering the building. I saw a crashed car on the road and someone shouted, "Natalia!" But are these 2 stories connected?
As soon as we started talking about the woman killed on the road, Natalia suddenly started having trouble breathing.
I couldn't breathe in, no matter what I did.
After a while, the poor woman fortunately started to feel better.
I'm sick. I can't breathe.
Breathe. Hold on to the amulet. The dark-haired woman haunted Natalia's apartment because of a child. And then the spirit of the woman who died in the accident also started talking about children. Wait, she says, "Mom, where are my children?"
She asked me this. I dreamed that she came and asked, "Where are my children? Why am I here alone without my children?"
If the woman and children died in the same accident, why doesn't she know her children are dead? Why is she looking for them in the world of the living? And what does Natalia have to do with this?
My book says the woman is looking for her sons because she doesn't know they are dead.
They died on the 10th. She was in a coma for a while and then passed away.
It turned out that after the collision, Natalia immediately came to, and without waiting for the ambulance, asked one of the drivers to take her and her husband and children to the hospital.
She entered the hospital on her own, but only then did she slip into a coma.
Volodimir's wife was taken to the intensive care, and a few minutes later, he was informed that both his sons had died.
People in a coma are stuck between the worlds of the living and the dead. Apparently, the mother didn't know her children were dead, so she was looking for them. My book is telling me that your wife is here to tell us that she can't find her children. However, she has nothing to do with Natalia. We must help your wife cross over and reunite with her children.
I can sense her now. She's here? She says, "I love you.
I love her more than anything in the world."
You'll be with me, but don't hurry."
Later, Volodymyr confessed that after losing his family, he indeed thought about suicide more than once.
You are a strong man and you must live on. Leave all thoughts of an early death behind.
You need to let her go. Ask her to go.
Go and be with our kids.
I saw the woman's spirit smile and disappear slowly.
Go, my darling.
But before she left us all together, Natalia told me, "I will help you," she said. "Look for her who ruined the wedding." Who does she mean?
I had a friend, Mariana. She was my bridesmaid. She stuck 2 pins into my door. When I found them, I pulled them out with my bare hands and threw them in the trash.
Natalia says her ex-husband proposed to her just a few months after they started dating. She immediately agreed. She had a wonderful wedding, and soon after found something strange in her apartment.
I saw those pins here. Curved, like this.
Natalia claims there was nothing on the door while she was cleaning her home before the wedding, but after it, she found the horrifying discovery, and the pins were of an unusual shape. The bride was stunned by the find, as no one other than her mother and bridesmaid had been in the room where she was getting ready. Frightened, she immediately called her mother.
Natalia called me and said, "Mom, did you put the pins on the door?" I said, "Why would I put pins on the door?" She said, "There are pins on both sides of the door in the room."
Why did you think your bridesmaid Mariana did this?
I called her and said, "I found something at home," but her answer was, "Are you implying that I put the pins in your door?"
Stop. Did you tell her what exactly you'd found and where? Did she know it?
I simply told her I found something at home.
It's indeed strange how the bridesmaid could have known about the pins in the door. And does this have anything to do with the dark-haired woman's spirit?
After that discovery, your husband changed.
He started drinking heavily.
Was he aggressive?
Yes. One day, I simply packed his things and told him to go away.
Natalia says she couldn't understand what had happened to the man who had loved her so much, especially given that he had been trying to win her heart ever since they both were at school.
He was after me since we were 14. Eventually, we got together. We lived here. Everything was perfect. He was simply ideal.
However, the marriage didn't last long, and Natalia thinks the strange find was the reason.
I know that putting pins in a door is done to cause a scandal. If someone is capable of magic with pins, they might also be capable of summoning spirits.
Let's check your bridesmaid. I felt we were about to uncover a secret, but I never imagined it would be connected to a terrible double murder.
Watch the next episode to find out how the most mystical investigation in the project resolves and what actually happened at Natalia's wedding.
My cards show that there was some very intimate flirting.
I understand.
Who is the woman in black? And why did she start the deadly hunt?
Natalia, she says you took her daughter and kept her.
Don't miss out. The psychics will reveal the secret of a murdered girl.
I wanted to have a daughter. I never meant any harm to your child.
We'd never encountered anything like that in all our years in the project.
If the story captivated you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the new episodes. Many more astonishing investigations by the psychics are coming up. Unbelievable investigation continues. A spirit in black attempts to murder a young mother of 2. Don't miss out. What will the living woman seek forgiveness from her for? The ghost of a dark-haired woman haunts a young mom from western Ukraine.
Black eyes. Very long hair. And she wears a black robe. She's incredibly scary.
The ghost first appeared in Natalia Nadilska's home 2 years ago.
She stood right here, looking at me like this.
Then, the stranger's spirit started appearing both day and night.
There were no drafts. Everything was closed. The door opened all the way here to the wall and then closed. It felt like someone entered the room.
And just as Natalia found out she was pregnant with her 3rd child, the spirit of the woman began a deadly attack. It choked the poor woman and dropped a wardrobe on her.
The wardrobe was here. It fell on the bed.
It even pushed her down the stairs.
I barely got back home.
The young mother is desperate.
I wept and screamed. I'm scared.
Our project's strongest experts, Kayal Alekperov and Olena Kurilova, took up the investigation.
My djinns told me when I see similar stars, it will mean we're on the wrong track.
Olena Kurilova described a dream where she saw herself and Kayal at the scene of a murder, and soon after, the psychics found that very place.
I see a little girl's body. She's lying on the ground. There's a woman next to her. Her mom. They were murdered.
What's frightening is that, according to the psychics, Natalia is somehow connected to this murder. Kayal Alekperov tried to find the connection and was stunned by what he sensed.
My book is telling me the child left at the doorstep is alive. And also, Natalia's child has 2 mothers.
Natalia assured the psychics that both her sons are her biological children. She never found any babies on her doorstep, and she doesn't understand who the dark-haired woman is.
What does she want from me?
Kayal Alekperov summoned the spirit from the afterlife.
Oh God.
I decided to hurry and get everyone outside.
But outside, the psychics received new information that changed the entire course of the investigation.
Look for her who ruined the wedding. Who does she mean?
I had a friend, Mariana. She was my bridesmaid. She stuck 2 pins into my door. When I found them, I pulled them out with my bare hands and threw them in the trash. I called her and said, Mariana, I found something at home. But her answer was, are you implying that I put the pins in your door?
Wait, did you tell her what exactly you'd found and where? Did she know it?
She didn't know.
Natalia is certain if Mariana knew where the needles were, it means she put them there herself.
I thought it was possible that the whole story with the bridesmaid was indeed connected to the woman in black.
In search of the reason for the appearance of the mysterious woman in black, the psychics and Natalia head to Mariana's.
Good evening. We'd like to talk to Mariana.
It turns out that this is Mariana's mother. The woman immediately goes inside to call her daughter.
Are you Mariana? My name is Olena Kurilova. This is Kayal Alekperov.
Mariana, you see, after the wedding, Natalia found some strange needles in her door. Do you know anything about it?
No.
But Mariana, I phoned you and told you I'd found something at my place. And you said, "Are you trying to say I stuck it in your door?" We did have that conversation, didn't we?
Mariana, how come you knew about the needles in the door?
Did you stick those needles in the door?
No, I would never do this.
However, the needles in the door were left by a woman's hand. And it was connected to Natalia's ex-husband, Ihor. All right, Mariana, look. Before Ihor and Natalia's wedding, did you have a relationship with him?
No.
But the cards say you did. Did you at least flirt with him?
Well, we joked with each other occasionally, and he could hug or kiss me.
It sounds too intimate to be just flirting.
Could Mariana, due to her affection for Natalia's ex-husband, have resorted to magic?
Please put your hand down. I want to check what I sense. For some reason, I kept seeing a pattern of certain stars. It's like a symbol that connects you both.
I have this tattoo.
And you, Natalia, also have it, right?
Yes.
According to what I sensed, Mariana was imitating Natalia. Did you want to be like her? To be as bright as her?
Maybe a little. It's life, you know?
When I see similar stars, it means we're on the wrong track. Mariana, it's not your fault that the ghost in black has been haunting Natalia. And according to my senses, you learned about the needles in the door from your mother, as she is friends with Natalia's mother.
But who then is responsible for the strange charm of the pins that Natalia found after the wedding?
It was done by a woman who wanted their marriage to break down. And it worked. I think you both should finally reconcile.
Please forgive me if you can.
I immediately felt better.
The psychics and Natalia come back to the van.
The dark woman from the afterlife is following you because of a child. Who are you?
My djinns say she's a mother who's seeking revenge on Natalia for her child.
It's my first fiancé's mother.
It turned out that when Natalia was 19, she became pregnant by a boy named Nazar, whom she had been dating for several years. The couple decided to get married, but on the eve of the wedding, Natalia canceled the ceremony.
I had very serious health problems. It was really bad. I gained a lot of weight and spent 9 months in the hospital.
And your fiancé?
He found a new girlfriend, and I hated him for that.
Natalia says she almost lost her son due to the stress she experienced, but thanks to the support of her friends and family, she overcame the pain.
We were supposed to get married, but we canceled the wedding, and I stopped communicating with him.
But I couldn't understand why Nazar's mother would seek revenge on Natalia. Then the djinns told me, it's all about a hit job.
Suddenly, Natalia started telling a story about her first fiancé, Nazar, and it shocked everyone.
He approached my friend and said, "There's a girl named Natalia who lives not far from yours. I want you to hit her, so she has a miscarriage."
It's not a man, but a demon.
Witnesses to this conversation were a group of local men who have known Natalia since she was little.
They beat him up because of me and said, "If you so much as touch her or come within 500 meters of her, the baby will cripple you," and he reported them to the police.
In the report, the man claimed that Natalia had ordered his murder and her friends were the intended perpetrators.
I was in the hospital at the time. A policeman called me and told me to come to the station. I said, "I can't, I'm at the hospital," but he insisted I should come.
So Natalia still went to the station, but after talking to the police officers, no charges were brought against her, and the case was closed due to a lack of evidence.
But I felt that after the incident, a woman decided to get rid of Natalia once and for all. I see her, but I can't make out her face. She's standing with her back to me. She has a handkerchief in her hands, and she's scattering earth by the door of the apartment where you live.
I found the earth by my door twice.
I sensed the earth was from a cemetery.
Could it be that the earth from the cemetery has bound the murderous spirit to Natalia?
From what I sensed, the woman who scattered earth by the door of Natalia's apartment was connected to the man Natalia planned to marry.
It turned out that the girl Nazar met soon became his wife. And every time she saw Natalia, she would happily show off her wedding ring to her.
She would say, "Oh, look, I have the ring," I said. "So what? Godspeed you." And when I was already far away with Vlad, she wished me to die. And then, when I already knew about the earth, I went to her and said, "Katya, did you put the earth under my door?" But she answered it wasn't her, but her mother-in-law.
This is how she gave the other woman away.
A shocking revelation. Could Nazar's mother be behind everything that is happening to Natalia?
We simply had no other option but to check the woman.
Half an hour later, the psychics are at the place where the mother of Natalia's ex-fiancé lives.
Who's there?
Natalia.
I'm Elena Kurilova, a psychic. This is Kayal Alekperov.
I know.
What's your name?
Elena.
We saw that someone brought cemetery earth to Natalia's doorstep. And it turned out it was supposedly you.
No.
I went to see your Katya, and I asked her, "Did you put the earth under my door?" And she said, "No, my mother-in-law did it."
Your daughter-in-law gave you away. The woman was clearly at a loss for words. Have you ever used the service of witches or fortune tellers?
I have once, but I did it for myself.
What I sensed clearly indicated that the cemetery earth was the work of a fortune teller. Someone who was paid to put a curse on someone to death.
I swear, I don't even know where you live.
That's easily checked. Draw a card. Just one. You clearly disliked her.
I did.
But I couldn't understand the reason for such animosity towards Natalia. Did you think the baby wasn't from your son?
Yes.
It turned out that after the birth of Natalia's eldest son, his grandmother had never come to see him.
The child is from your son. You can have a DNA test if you like.
I don't need it.
You seem to be afraid that they will ask you for money for the child.
I can't say it. I don't know.
Look, I don't need anything from you.
Give me your hand, please. I feel you didn't do the curse on Natalia.
I swear. I didn't go anywhere or put anything under her door.
It was done by a woman you know well. She's younger than you and is somehow connected to your son. It might be your daughter-in-law or a girl he had a relationship with on the side.
I don't know.
Tell me, please, where's your son now?
I don't see him.
I sensed that the mother and son didn't communicate because of his alcohol problems. But I didn't want to interfere with that as we came to help Natalia's family. We need to go back to Natalia's apartment and work on the spot where the earth was scattered.
A few minutes later, the psychics are climbing the stairs to Natalia's apartment.
Indeed, there was cemetery earth at this spot which bound a spirit to you. However, it wasn't taken from the grave of the woman you see, but from that of a child, a girl. She's fair-haired, around 7 or 8 years old. Have you, Natalia, seen her?
I had dreams of a girl. She has long hair, and she's blonde.
Do you know her?
No.
However, I had a strong feeling that there was still some connection between them. Perhaps even a blood connection.
This is astonishing. But who is that girl, and what happened to her?
I see her clutching her throat.
Yes, I asked her, "What's your name?" But she didn't answer and showed me this.
I feel that it's because her throat has been slashed with a knife. This little girl was brutally murdered.
But why do I see the woman in black?
Let us work in your home once more. At that moment, I had a vision of the woman in black when she was alive. She was walking down a sunny street, smiling and holding the girl's hand. It was the same spirit whose energy I felt at the apartment's door. The girl was talking to the woman and calling her Mom. The girl, the earth from whose grave was used against you, is the daughter of the black-haired woman. The woman's spirit is haunting you because of her daughter.
They were both murdered at the same time, next to you, around here. Who did it? Say it. A man with a knife. He's insane.
Remember, we were at the scene of a mother and daughter's murder this morning.
I see a little girl's body. She's lying on the ground. Her mother is next to her.
The spirits haunting Natalia are of the other woman and her daughter, but they too were brutally murdered many years ago, not far from the place where we were. Suddenly, I had a vision of the black-haired woman. A room, a New Year's tree. They were setting the table together. Then a man burst into the house. He had a knife and he killed both the mother and the daughter. The spirits of the mother and daughter rested on the other side until someone decided to hire a fortune teller to curse you. They went to the girl's grave.
Someone went there, took some earth, performed a ritual, and brought it to you to kill you and your children.
The only thing that surprises me is that the fortune teller chose the grave randomly. But working with you, I feel that you and the girl are connected by something more significant than this curse. It felt like they were related.
But I couldn't understand why then. Neither I nor Kayal never sensed the presence of that girl. Why did we only see the enraged spirit of her mother, but not her?
I don't know how to explain it, but I have a feeling that this girl is still alive.
The girl's spirit is here.
Could it be inside me?
Yes.
Gosh, it's sickening.
This is unbelievable. Is this really true?
The spirit of the murdered girl has reincarnated into Natalia's child she was carrying. However, there was a feeling that she herself had offered the dead girl to do this. All because of your words. It appears you yourself told her you'd be a new mom for her.
She appeared in my dreams. I stood and said, "Let's be mother and daughter. I want to have a daughter so much. Be my daughter."
Because of the curse, the girl's spirit was supposed to kill Natalia. However, the child didn't want to do it and appeared in her dreams every night to explain everything. Your words gave her a chance to be saved.
This is the first time we've encountered something like this in the entire history of the project.
The girl appeared in your dreams only until you offered to become your daughter. And then...
She ceased coming.
Exactly. You truly can become her mother. At that moment, I understood what my book had been telling me since the beginning of the investigation. The child left on the doorstep is alive. Natalia's child has two mothers. The spirit of the murdered mother keeps coming because she feels her daughter's energy in this home, but she doesn't see her. She thinks you stole her. That's why she's been attacking you.
Of course, every mother, whether alive or in the afterlife, will do everything to get her child back. but we had to save Natalia from the attacks and constant presence of the ghost. You can only negotiate with her.
I know what I need to tell her.
Khayal Alekperov begins the ritual of opening a portal, while Olena Kurilova summons the spirit of the woman.
Please forgive those who did you wrong. I didn't want anything bad to happen to your child. I wanted to have a daughter so much. She appeared to me in my dreams. I didn't know who she was. I didn't mean to take her from you. I promise she will be with me. I will love her. I will love her and protect her. Forgive me if I did anything wrong to you. Please, let her be with me. Don't take her away.
After these words, the woman's spirit wept. She understood she couldn't take her daughter back. But she felt that her child would be in safe hands and with a loving mother.
Natalia, the spirit believes you. This woman will no longer bother you. And she also promised that you and all your children will be under her protection.
I'm so grateful for your help.
A few months after the investigation, we decided to contact Natalia to find out how her life had changed.
Thank God everything is fine now. We don't see anything strange anymore. I'm happy Khayal and Olena came to help me. They really helped me a lot.
And the most amazing thing is that the last ultrasound showed that Natalia is indeed pregnant with a girl.
I'll finally have a daughter. I've already bought a stroller. Her name will be Amelia.
If you're impressed by this story, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Many more stunning investigations are coming up.